Man, the Gen 3 games are a lot longer on the story than compared to Gen 1. Probably comparable to, well, I guess Gen 2 is probably a little bit longer than either one of those, because you go back to Kanto after completing the Johto playthrough. But Hoenn it just seems like there's a lot going on, and a lot more, game mechanics. You have a berry bag. The berry bag, oh man, it makes the game twice as long. No, not really. Welcome back to part 13 of my playthrough, where I'm using only in-game traded Pokemon. And it is a little bit of a challenge because they have to be at a much higher level than the competition. Because usually Pokemon's pretty easy if you don't limit yourself to certain Pokemon or certain moves, as I have done in this challenge and past playthrough challenges, which you can check out on my Pokemon playlist. And I need to start doing other Pokemon videos besides just playthroughs, because I've done a few, and actually one of them is my hottest video so far. It almost has 9,000 views, which, as you all know, is a drop in the bucket on YouTube. But for my channel, it's all the drops in the bucket. It's filled all the way up. And it passed my Blockus video, which is my crowning achievement, but it's being overshadowed by the Pokemon Daycare AFK trick video, which is fine, because Blockus will make a return one day. It will be popular. I'll make it popular. It'll just take a while for it to come around. It'll be like when you see videos recommended by YouTube from like 10 years ago. It's gonna be like that. So I posted that one Blockus video, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 now. So just give it another 7 years, a little over that, and it'll be great. It'll be popular one day. It'll be recommended. I wonder if any of my videos are recommended on YouTube. You could probably check that in the analytics. But back to Pokemon, as we have loud voices upstairs. We're battling these Aqua people, and now we have this Aqua admin, so we're like, okay, you might be pretty strong. But then, he has evolved Pokemon compared to the other Aqua members, but they're still not that much higher level. Like, why don't you give an Aqua admin a lot higher level Pokemon level? Why isn't this Mighty Ina at level like 40 something instead of in the mid 30s? Because our Skitty, although Skitty is kind of weak, and we should evolve it with the Moonstone, but we can't because we have to trade it later for a Meowth, which is just weird. If you're gonna trade a Skitty at that late in the game, which in Hoenn, in Emerald, you trade it at the Battle Frontier, why wouldn't you just do Delcatty for Persian if you were gonna do that trade at all? But for some reason, Game Freak is like, nope, it's gonna be non-evolved Pokemon being traded at the Battle Frontier after you beat the Pokemon League, which just doesn't make sense to me. But hey, I didn't make Pokemon, I just get to play it, so I won't complain. But Double Edge does do pretty solid. It takes down a level 34 Mighty Ina, even though we're almost 20 levels higher, but it takes it out. And because of that, we don't lose quite a bit of health, because I believe it's Double Edge does like a percentage, or reduces a percentage of your health based off of their health. So actually, it would be kind of toxic to use Double Edge on a Chansey, because if you've ever had a Chansey on your team, or Blissey, you know that they have an exorbitant amount of health points. Like, I think by the time you get to like level 100, your Chansey in Gen 1 could have over 600 health points. But it's funny because I think its defense is like really, really weak. And actually, I think the special defense and special attack were combined in Gen 1, so its special was super high. So you would just teach it like Thunder, Blizzard, whatever you want, Fire Blast, and maybe Solar Beam. You have 4 super powerful special type moves, and then as long as the other Pokemon use special attacks against you, you are fine. So, but of course we don't have to deal with that. I don't think I'll battle a single Chansey in Hoenn, now that I think about it. And I'm not even sure on a Blissey either. is Blissey introduced in Gen 3? I might have to look that up. Because Blissey, I think you have to evolve it with, was it with happiness or some nonsense like that instead of a stone or a leveling up. I want to look on Sarah B. Sarah B is my favorite go-to spot for anything Pokemon knowledge. If I'm, well, I guess I still use it on my phone. I was going to say I have Dexter on my phone, the app, which is pretty cool. Oh, actually, Blissey goes back to Gen 2. I knew it, but at the same time I forgot. So you level it up with happiness. But you have to get a Chansey to begin with, which can be kind of hard if you're not playing in Gen 1. I don't even know where you can get your Chansey in Gen 2. In the, Johto region with Gold, Silver, Crystal. But yeah, wow, Blissey can learn lots of good moves. Oh yeah, max stats for health. Your Blissey could have a maximum health point value of 713. That is astronomical. And yeah, it's special offense 368, special attack 248, but it's attack 118 and defense 118. And speed 208, so not the fastest, of course. But Blissey and Chansey, two Pokemon that we know and love, but we rarely see them in playthroughs. Why is that? Where in playthroughs, there's a lot of Pokemon you don't get to see that trainers have in the game, or you don't get to catch till way later in the game. But you would love to have on your journey to just start out with them and watch them grow and flourish and be absolute masters on the battlefield. It's just not the case. Like in Gen 2, I always wanted to have Tyranitar by the time I got to, the 8th gym. So I wanted to start out with Larvitar, but of course, you can only catch Larvitar or Pupitar in Mount Silver after you beat the Elite Four, and after you beat not only the 8 Johto gym leaders, but the 8 Kanto gym leaders. So right at the very game before you battle Trainer Red, can you get a Larvitar or Pupitar? And you can't catch a Tyranitar in the wild, so you have to evolve one of those. And they evolve into Tyranitar at level 55, which is actually, that's kind of just like Dragonair into Dragonite. So, you really got to grind for those pretty powerful non-legendary Pokemon. And now we're at the Liza and Tate Gym. This is the 7th gym, the Psychic Gym. And it's kind of funny now in these newer gens, but, Gen 3 is really not that new. What are we on, Gen 8 with Sword and Shield, or is that Gen 9? I can't even keep track. But it's funny because in these gyms, they're like advertised as a Psychic type gym, but Girafarig is Psychic and Normal type, which still is a little mind-boggling, but we'll let it slide. And then Xatu is Psychic Flying, so you don't just have purely Psychic types like you did in Gen 1, where Sabrina had, Abra, and then Kadabra, and then Alakazam, and then Mr. Mime. And, well, that was depending on if you were playing Yellow, the Pikachu version, or you were playing Red or Blue. But actually, Sabrina had a Venomoth, if I'm not mistaken, which was kind of weird because that was Poison Flying, I'm pretty sure. But, Gen 1, we won't talk about those inconsistencies. We'll just move along. So we defeat these, gym trainers with ease. Because again, this challenge, you just have to be a much higher level and you're good to go. And then we can just do some double battles if you set it up just right. Gen 3 did a huge service to us by setting up double battles. And then later on, I believe you can do triple battles. But of course, I haven't played those newer gens, so I don't know which game introduced triple battles. But we're going to stick with double battles, and that's actually, it's kind of foreshadowing that you do a couple double battles in this gym because it sets it up for you to battle Tate and Liza in a double battle style battle. Because that's the first gym leader, or first gym where you could do that. And you think they'd be pretty powerful, and I was like, whoa, I'm going to have to do this more than one try. But they only have 4 Pokemon, and Claydol, it's Psychic, but it's also Rock type. So we kind of really have this in the bag. It's really not a problem, because we have Ice Beam, we have Extrasensory, we have Feint Attack. Well, actually, Extra Sentry Psychic type, but we have Feint Attack, which automatically never misses. So we have a Dark type going against their Psychic typing. We also have Skitty's Ice Beam, an Ice type going against, Xatu's Flying type, or Claydol's Rock type. So this battle it's so easy, it's not even funny. All we have to do is just choose the moves. We already know they're gonna strike pretty much without fail, because there's no accuracy reducing moves from Tate or Liza's Pokemon. So it's just a breeze, really. So I'm just here, along for the ride with you all, because I really didn't have any, super crazy strategies that I had to plan out and put into action step by step. I just had to just blatantly attack them. Just dumb brute force is what won this battle. And it's a nice change, because some of the earlier gym leaders were definitely a struggle. But we'll sweep Tate and Liza aside, and then Gym 8 is the Water-type gym, and we're actually probably just going to breeze right through that. Now, Solrock is just like Claydol, with the typing Psychic and Rock. So again, no issues there. We have Ice Beam, we have Feint Attack. Shockwave would still hit, because they are not, actually, they're not ground type. Let me just double check myself, just to make sure. Solrock, if he was a ground type, I would be very, very much incorrect. They are, well, it says Onyx on Google. That's weird. Does Onyx mean rock? Yes, it does. So we are good to go. Yeah, Psychic and Rock. I'm not completely sure, but you know what? I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna go with it. Oh, and then Lunatone. So these are all Gen 3s, but they're all Psychic and Rock. Why couldn't they be like Psychic Ground, or I don't know, Psychic Dark? It's just something, just mix it up a little bit. So yeah, we defeat them with these. We're at level 55 apiece with Dots and Skitty, and I think we don't have to worry about passing a certain level and our Pokemon not obeying us anymore, because we just have so many badges. And I think by the time we get the 8th badge, all our Pokemon will obey us, but we won't be anywhere near level 70, because I think that's the level cap that we're working with right now with our Pokemon obeying us. Especially in-game traded Pokemon, which is exactly what we're dealing with. So thanks for watching. This episode was a breeze, and we're going to go check out what Team Magma's up to right there. So I'll see you later.